All right, let's take it back. When you imagined homeschool, what did it look like? Is what you do now what it looked like? I can assure you, mine did not look like what we do now. And it was really hard to have that realization and to separate those things. And it was even harder when I realized that the void between my ideal homeschool and my real homeschool, that was where my guilt comes from. Homeschool guilt. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are knocking on that 10th year of homeschooling. And today I want to talk with you about separating homeschool idealism from realism. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Just so you know, because it's totally on topic, next week, from the time you're seeing this, will be me sharing my homeschool plans for 5th grade and 9th grade. So in I don't know, 6 months, somebody check back in and remind me about that separation between realism and idealism, because I mean, right now I've got ideas. I got them. How's it gonna go? I do not know, but we will for sure figure it out. I know that you can relate, right? You see a new thing and it looks awesome. You see 10 things and they all look awesome, and you want to do them, and you want to do them now. We've talked about that recently, and it all looks great and it all looks wonderful and it's so cool, and obviously everybody's going to love it and everybody's going to do these great jobs, and look, oh, here's a new art thing, and oh, look at this class, we can do that class too, and oh, there's this homeschool event during the day, we should do that too. And you have planned exactly 14 years worth of homeschool stuff into 3 days. And that is not possible. Okay. That is homeschool idealism, right? You think that you're going to have a Pinterest worthy room and it's going to be awesome. And it's going to smell like roses for some reason, and it will be good and it will be wonderful, and everybody's going to get up on time and we're all going to get started, and your kids are never going to have a hiccup in their learning journey. Nobody's going to be dyslexic. Everybody's going to read well. Nobody's going to need to snack. Definitely not 15 snacks. They definitely don't have to pee 47 times. It's going to be great. It's all going to go to plan, and that's how it works, right? Because this is homeschool. This is homeschool. This is how homeschool goes. Except that's idealism. And realism is not idealism. Realism is that everybody needs basically 100% the opposite of everything I just said. And that is where we actually live. The problem is, and it's just like a birth plan. It is just like a birth plan, right? It's going to be wonderful, and the baby is just going to fly out of there after one push. But in actuality, you have placental abruption, and people have to have surgeries, and everybody almost dies. So it's just kind of like that, where you wonder what happens, and then you have a weird grieving process. It is hard, especially when you're first starting. I like to think I'm a little better at it now, but I'm not. I like to think that I do a better job of keeping a handle on what is actually possible within the confines of both time and space. I don't. But if I did, then I would be better at this. After I just told you, I have 9 years of experience. So clearly I've gotten a handle on doing this right. But if I had, I would recognize your idealism and your realism. The further apart they are, the more space there is for homeschool guilt. And if you are new here, welcome. You don't know this yet, but everything you do makes you feel guilty, because it is a wild decision that we have chosen to add our child's entire educational existence to the burden that is on our shoulders that we already carry of, I don't know, keeping them alive and feeding them and housing them and hoping they grow up to be good people, and also hoping that the world isn't on fire by then because of global warming or war or whatever. And also we're going to teach them how to read. Yes, we're so good at this. So obviously, those of us who have chosen to homeschool don't already have a problem with idealism, right? You're going to feel guilty. Is it socialization? Maybe that's it. People keep bringing it up. Is it that they don't do something in the time or on grade level that they're supposed to? Probably that one too. Do they just hold their pencil weird? Because you don't know this yet, but you're gonna stress about that. And down in the comments, tell me, has anybody out there not stressed about like pencil holding, hand placement, or handwriting quality? If you have never stressed about any of those, go away. You're not our people, okay? There are things that I did not know I needed to worry about that I found out and then worried. The space between the idealism and the realism is where homeschool guilt will live. Homeschool guilt, parenting will, the whole thing. It is really hard to human. It is really hard to mother. It is really hard to homeschool. And it is damn near impossible to do all of those things. And what you can't do is all of them great at the same time. But for whatever reason, our lovely little brains, especially our 3 a.m. brains, seem to think that we can. No, okay, so no. 8 a.m. brains think we can. 3 a.m. brains question if we've ever done anything right. So those, again, the space between. It is our job, as we're going to this planning season, to be realistic, okay? What does Coco Chanel say? Look in the mirror before you leave, take off one thing. That's what we're gonna do with our homeschool plans. Put a list of some days or one days. Not everything needs to be done now. Not everything needs to be done this year, okay? They don't need to do every single thing every year. They don't need to do every single thing every day. They don't need to do every single thing every week. They don't need to do every single thing right now, okay? I am so guilty of finding the things, sourcing the things, getting excited about the things, thinking my kids will love the things, and they want free play. This is a perfect analogy, actually. You know how your kids have a lot of play dates and you wind up like going to the zoo and then you go to do this activity and then you go to do this thing that you bought tickets for together. And what happens is your kids just want to run feral in a field because they just want to spend time together. They don't want a planned activity. They don't want to meet up with people that they aren't actually close with. They don't want to do that, okay? They want free time. Yeah. It's like that, okay? I don't know how we do this. And maybe what we do is we book out hours a day for free time. And maybe what we do is we limit their toys. Yeah, I'm doing that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the solution is. But I can tell you and I can scream the warnings from the rooftops. Get your realism and your idealism closer together. And that's not what I mean to say. I recognize the problem in that statement. Here is your realism. Here is your idealism. Bring your idealism to your realism. Do not bring your realism to your idealism. Everyone will perish. Okay? Don't do that. Realism stays. Bring your idealism. One thing at a time. Okay? One thing at a time. Don't start big. Just like every time we come back from a break, every time we restart, start with one big bite. You do that real well, you could take a second big bite. Okay? You do that okay, you throw in some fries. Don't do it all. Don't do it all right now. You don't have to do it all. You don't need to do it all. Don't make yourself feel bad. Just do your best. I don't know how else to explain. The realism and the idealism, they've got to get together, okay? This happens with wedding budgets and birth plans and home renovations and Pinterest boards and, okay? I do not have Pottery Barn money, but I got IKEA money. Okay, my realism is IKEA. My idealism is Pottery Barn. Never the two shall meet. What your home, what your life, what your homeschool looks like right now is good. It's good enough. If you have happy people, making progress, if you're doing that mostly consistently, that's great. Before you jump off the deep end saying that you need to do all the things and grab all the things and buy all the things and do all the things, just remember what I have said. Take one thing off before you walk out the house, okay? Guys, I hope that you found this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Let me know. I will take anything at all. What was your crazy, I could do that, but then you couldn't do that? And I've got a lot because I am a DIY girly. I have replaced all kinds of things. I have demoed things. I have tiled the kitchen. I have painted things. I have made things. Just today, I made a whole playbill. I have never done that before. I have taught myself pretty much everything I know how to do. Designed websites, this whole YouTube situation, all the things. And rarely was it something I probably should have done. Again, my idealism and my realism and my idealism got real close, real fast. So, I'd love to hear it. What's your thing? What was your thing? Or what was your thing you started and you were like, nope, that's not for me. I am so guilty. Well, we can do that. We can do that. Especially when it comes to saving money. This girl. I should not be left alone. That is for sure. Anyways, so yeah, that might be why I absolutely love group learning for my kids, is that it's so much easier because I could do it a lot of like one thing instead of having to do a lot of little things, or a lot for multiple people, like combining subjects. I think that is probably why it serves me so well. That is actually the necessity of Mom and Me Monday. It's because I needed to force myself, right? My idealism was that we could do it all. We freaking can't. I can't. The reality of that Mom and Me Monday was that I needed to force myself to find a time to just, it is sacred. And that is where I am at. I am focused and I am doing it, because if not, this girl is trying to do 15,000 other things. And I literally cannot. And so for me, that was a place when my idealism got to my realism real fast. And I changed things and I figured out the way to make it work. And that's the deal. You have to figure out what does work for you. How does it work? How is it working now? Do you have something else you want to do? Absolutely. Love that. I've got tons of videos here on how to create your dream routine and what that looks like, but it all is based in that realism. What's it really like? What is really happening? How is it really going for you? What is honestly your pitfall? You have to get really honest with yourself. Not a lot of us are. We are all idealistic and we all idealize ourselves, good or bad. Very rarely are we grounded where we are. And so that space between is what makes you feel like. And there's no other way to say it. True story. Getting those closer together and taking honest, hard looks at what you are, where you are, what you want, and how you're going to get there. Real possibilities. That's the difference. And that's the key.
Mission accomplished.
Bye, guys.